financial background to accept that payment. So that may be something that, an inventor should look for.
And that's a great service. But again, at the end of the day, you need to do your research, make sure that you know what company that you're working with, get referrals, references, call them up, ask them how their experiences have been, get samples from the company, start a communication dialogue and see what kind of response they give you, and just get to know them. You're giving them your baby. You're giving them your invention that you've been working on for so long and putting your all your time and resources into. Make sure you find the right factory. And also, while you're doing this, it's one thing to manufacture and then all of a sudden remember that you have tooling, but you also have packaging. So maybe there's other parts that they don't necessarily have that they may have to source for you. So make sure that they're able to, maybe if they're doing one particular part, let's say like we spoke about with a scarf, but your scarf has rubber accessories on it and they're a knitting company. So make sure that they're going to be able to source out the buttons or the rubber pieces or whatever it is that you're including. And also, if you wanted to do certain type of packaging, clamshell or blister pack, all these different types or hang tags and all these different things, see if they have the capability to do that for you, right?
Right, absolutely.
This way, it's all done in one place, and there's somebody that's project managing it for you there. That's your main factory. And, they may charge a little bit of a premium, but you don't have to go to the 5 factories to get your one product done. And also, a lot of times there's inventors that are doing all this, and then they go, oh, yeah, I have to do the graphics for all my packaging and my hang tags and all those type of things. So when you're going to these manufacturers, I found from my experiences that they like you to be prepared. If you start piecing little by little, it turns out that a month or 2 or 3 passes and they start to get frustrated because they're in business, they're a factory. They want to take your idea, get it through the process, get your order done, and keep moving. If you stretch it out, that's the sign of really showing that you're just getting started. And I always like to show them that I'm prepared and ready for business.
That's right.
There's a couple other questions that came in. I know you and I spoke about it also. But just overall, I know that there's people that are really hardcore, I need to get my product made in the USA. And by the way, on Alibaba, I saw that there's some USA companies that have been listing their manufacturing facilities on there.
Yep.
So what's your feeling on doing business overseas versus the U.S.?
People go overseas for a reason, and, it's probably not a secret that, they take advantage of the cost, right? Because this is how I look at it. When you have a cost advantage, you basically eventually can, have a cost advantage to sell it here, and then you probably can create more jobs in the local market. That's the whole economic cycle. So a lot of people, blame that, you ship all the manufacturing jobs overseas, but that's sourcing just the first step of the whole sourcing cycle, right? Because once you import it, you still have to resell it. Now you sell it, you basically move the money, you generate economy. So that creates jobs. And we've seen so many companies of, user of ours, the company called 100% Pure. They start with 2%. They source from Alibaba. They actually source the product and manufacture the product in different countries. But ultimately, they create over 200 jobs in the U.S. because they now manufacture, put all the final pieces together. They have a factory here. So I guess people go overseas for different reasons. And then the other thing I will mention is, like you said, you see a lot of American companies that listed on our platform simply because our platform doesn't just focus on, let's say, helping Asian manufacturers. We welcome global companies to list it here because this is truly a door to open your footprint to the global market. Anyone can, we have no restriction or no, let's say, different criteria for company coming from China versus Pakistan versus Middle East or U.S. They all supply us. So this is basically a free trading space, a marketplace.
So it's very interesting. I mean, it's really set up for an inventor to find the right manufacturer. And then there's also companies, like I said, if there's something that already exists and you want to go into business, you can actually find companies that make those products overseas and have it private labeled and ship them into the U.S. and start your own business, whether you're selling them to buyers or you're starting a website, you want to start your own company, you could do it. Or if there's just individual products that you want to just buy on your own as onesies. And some of these companies on the AliExpress, you could just go on and just buy a onesie product. So it seems like you've really built a nice community of opportunity. But at the end of the day, no matter what it is, we have to do our research and we have to make sure that we do our due diligence before we start with anybody. Are there any other pieces of any tips or any other information that you could share with the inventors listening out there? They're at all different stages of the invention process, Michael. So, they're thinking about manufacturing, they're thinking about licensing, they have their idea on a napkin. There's some that already manufacture and are using a factory and have distribution, but maybe they're looking for somebody else to work with. What are some final words of wisdom maybe that you could share with the inventors listening out there?
I think you basically covered the most important one, which is definitely do your due diligence to protect yourself. But I guess at the same time, I think you shouldn't rely on just one manufacturer for your long-term business. You probably should look for alternatives. You can start with one, but in the long run, it probably also protect yourself to have plan B or alternative partners to do different things for you.
Well, that sounds great, Michael. Really, really appreciate having you on our show. I know that the activity of the inventors emailing me tonight was definitely a hot topic. I know that Alibaba is a hot topic, and I know that inventors that are trying to get their products manufactured and getting some idea of what their products cost for tooling and for production of them and getting them here to the U.S. We didn't really speak about the whole side of shipping. Maybe if you don't mind just touching on that for just a moment, if you don't mind, because I missed one question here from one of the listeners about how do you get your product shipped to the U.S.?
Mm-hmm. So there are many ways to do that. So normally when you do a factory, they're not responsible for arranging shipping. However, they will have connection or recommendation of which freight forwarding company you use. So if you know some probably international freight forwarding company, you can definitely hire them. But alternatively, on our website, on our basically Alibaba.com, you can also find these like supply chain service provider, on top of the manufacturers or products. So you can, if you, for example, type freight forwarding company, they will return a bunch of services, and then inspection service and custom brokers, things like that. Then I think that's maybe one way you do it. But typically, the factory will only deliver the good to the port, and you need to either arrange the shipping yourself or hire a freight forwarding company to help you load the stuff to the ship, and then when it comes to clear custom, and then you have to arrange the trucking to deliver to your warehouse.
Okay. I usually ask the factory to suggest a shipping agent, a broker here in the U.S. That they've had experience with. Number one, it tells me that they've done business here in the U.S., and number two, they have some kind of relationship, and it helps them, and it makes it easy because they've worked together.
Right.
I've done that in the past, so it's very interesting. Well, I'd like to thank you, Michael. If there's any other questions that inventors have, hopefully they got a ton of information from this show. I feel great. I really got an understanding of what Alibaba's about, and I've learned a lot of new things that Alibaba has to offer with the escrow service and the quoting service. It's great, and I hope that inventors feel the same way that have been listening. How is it that we can either get our questions answered, maybe that come along the way, or how can we get in touch with Alibaba? How's your support for inventors?
Yeah, so I think we are pretty active on social media, so you can just go on Facebook or Twitter to find us. We actually have a company account, so you can easily post questions, or you come to forum. to ask a question so you can interact with other people. We also have a customer service email, which Brian, I think I can forward you the email address so that you can share with your listeners later.
Can you share it online? Do you have it available?
Yes. Let me just grab the directory.
Okay. And obviously Alibaba is spelled ALIBABA.com, Alibaba.com. There's also Ali Express if you want to buy onesie products out there. And I know that there's so much information and different resources that are available on the website. And just really take a look and see what the companies offer. See their minimum order quantities. See what type of products that they manufacture or that they're trading, and get in touch with them. But if you do have specific questions for Alibaba, Michael, if you could share the email with us, that would be great. Unless it's just
right. So here's the email address for general questions. So it's small biz help. It's SMALLBIZHELP at service.alibaba.com.
At service.alibaba.com?
That's right.
Perfect. And anyway, if we didn't take this down or we don't have it, it's on the website. It's easy enough to go to the support area and be able to send an email or go to any of the social media websites that you're on as a company and be able to ask questions. And it seems like your company is very diligent with responding to emails and any activities or questions, concerns that whether it's an inventor or a small business or big business has.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Michael Lee, the Director of Global Marketing for Alibaba, joined us tonight. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Like to thank our sponsors of Got Invention Radio. We have Carter, DeLuca, Farrell, and Schmidt Law Firm, Inventors Digest, inventorsdigest.com, United Inventors Association, UIAUSA.org, QuickPatents.com, China to West. Everybody, thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. Again, thank you, Michael Lee from Alibaba. Have a great night and keep on inventing. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.